Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to another League of Legends gameplay. This is going to be me pretty much bringing back one of the old series I used to do called League of Pros, where I spectate a high ELO player's game and I commentate over it. And the main reason I want to bring this back is because I've been hearing a lot of talk lately about how Riot is hiring more commentators and shoutcasters. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that I want to, do that as a job or work for Riot for that specific position, but it kind of made me think, I kind of want to start doing these kind of commentates again, just over these games and, all that good stuff. So I want to bring back the series. Tell me what you guys think. I want to practice on my commentating skills because this is a very good way for me to kind of, get better at commentating more properly, more precisely, maybe better vocabulary, less, stuttering, that kind of stuff. So I feel like this will be a good series to kind of help me out for that, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it as well. So please write in the comments below what you think about it, if you think I should improve on anything or anything of the sort. And yeah, so without further ado, I want to start talking about this game. So if you haven't guessed yet, the person I am spectating is going to be RobertXLee, or in this case RobertXNoob, and he's going to be playing the Draven bottom with the Blitzcrank. He's going to be up against an Ezreal, Nick's brother, very familiar name to me. I've seen him quite a bit. Very good player from what I remember. And the rest of the players I don't really know. Kennen I'm not really sure of. I am not sorry. I think I've seen him. Cash Dollar I think I've seen. A Zingy and Gamer I'm not 100%, nor am I 100% with the other guys, the Odd Orange. That's Ichiban. I know, I've seen Ichiban on streams and stuff. I know that for sure. Alright, so it looks like the red team is looking for the invade. I'm not sure what they're trying to do because there is a ward right here for the blue team, so they can see everything that's going on there. So Ezreal is backing up, but he's going to miss a few CS over here because, as you can see, the wave is on its way. It's already halfway there, if not more, and Ezreal is going to miss probably maybe 1 or 2 minions. Usual starting lane or starting path for the Lee Sin with the Draven. Of course, the ADC and support helping the jungler out. That's usually what junglers tend to do. They usually tend to start where the ADC starts, but just for that extra leash, for the not having to use smite, and it's a lot faster. It's a lot better than having just your top laner help. So it looks like we have an Aurelia support. That's a very interesting thing to do. I mean, everyone here is Diamond 1, so keep in mind this is high low game, of course. So and Aurelia support, very interesting. Maybe they had a little fight and then she decided to play Aurelia regardless, and she's like, oh, you know what, fine, I'll just support, but I'm not really sure. So looks like we have Kennen versus Elise top, so I'm not sure who has the advantage here. I think both of them are quite strong against each other, but looks like the invade is going on the Mumu. Blitz gets a very weird pull, pretty much point blank with the Lee Sin. Nice Q, he didn't wait for it, but he actually flashes over, and the Blitz gets the kill with the Ignite, I believe. Yep, the Blitz is running Ignite, so it looks like support Blitz with Ignite. So it is 2v1 bottom lane because of that, but they did get the first blood on him. Blitz got the red buff. Not sure how much use he's going to put that into, put that into use rather, but I mean, RobertXLee seems to be doing pretty good down here with the Draven. I mean, he is pretty known for Draven. He's an extremely strong Draven player, especially prior to the passive change / I guess, nerf, as most people do seem to call it. In the middle lane, we have Gragas versus a Zed. Now, personally, I think the Zed should pretty much win this lane without any problemos. And bottom lane, the Zed or rather the Draven and the Blitz versus Ezreal and the Aurelia. So pretty interesting. Personally, I think Blitz is not one of the best supports unless you're someone like Madlife who just lands every single hook, or at least a large majority of them. Just because if Blitz misses his hook, you're pretty much safe from that support because he's not going to be doing anything else for the next 16 seconds, and you can do whatever you want without any worry about the support champion. So that's one thing I don't like about Blitz. So it looks like a lot of action going on middle. Zed almost taking a few turret hits there, but he got out just in time as he saw the laser was facing him. Blitz going for the pull. Now you can see he missed the pull. Now what is he going to do? He's just going to, might as well AFK for a while, honestly. Nice little harass by the Aurelia, double queuing to the minion to Robert and getting a nice auto tag to kind of do a little sum to him. But Robert responds with an axe himself, and they pretty much trade almost even HP. So Mumu having trouble over here. He didn't get blue buff, so it's very common to go against an Amumu and invade just because Amumu is extremely reliant on that blue buff. And if he does not get it, he's going to have some serious trouble sustaining through the jungle. And he did not have the chance to counter jungle as well because Lee Sin, of course, being one of the strongest early game junglers since he has so many abilities, since he has pretty much 2 abilities per skill. It's hard for other junglers, maybe except for like an Udyr, and even then, to match up against him. So that's really a good play by Lee Sin. Top lane, we have Kennen and the Elise. So Kennen looks like he's actually maybe losing. CS-wise, it's looking that he's 27 to... let me change this around for you guys. I'm sure a lot of you are probably wanting to do this. So let me go ahead and quickly change this around for you guys. So Lee Sin, there we go. That looks pretty good. Oh, I'm so used to Aurelia being top lane. So I put Aurelia top. Alright, so it looks like top lane is pretty even. Jungler is pretty even. Mid lane he's winning slightly, and Robert is doing a very good job. He's 15 CS ahead, considering he was 1v2 for quite some time. So that's very impressive. So great job by him. He's gonna definitely make sure that he power balls through this lane and comes out stronger than this Ezreal. Is that gonna stop him? Yeah, he's gonna try stopping that Gragas back. I mean, it's very common to do. People don't want the other person back, and they want to waste as much time as possible. So looking at the Zed's item, he did get red pot first, so he's obviously going to be looking for some sort of trade damage and popping the red pot to maybe bait the Gragas to ensure that, you know, he will get that extra kill on the Gragas. Looks like a lot of damage is coming out. The Lee Sin misses the Q just barely, very close. Puts the Ignite on. He buries just in case, but I don't think it was enough damage to kill him either way, because he had an HP pot ticking, I believe, so I'm pretty sure he was safe regardless, but I guess he wanted to just play it safe. Nice pull by the Blitz, getting onto the Irelia. Irelia stuns Robert, very nice. Look at the HP. Robert has to actually flash out just because Aurelia's stun is a little too much, and she actually brings in some good damage with her W true damage. And this turned around very, very quickly. So pulling in Aurelia wasn't exactly the brightest move by this Blitz from the looks of it. Nice Q by the Lee Sin, gets it on to the Mumu, finishes it off, waits at the right moment. Second, the Mark pop from Zed. Lee Sin finishes off with his Q. And since Lee Sin's Q does do more damage based on the HP that the target is missing, he did a very smart move to wait for the Deathmark to pop just to make sure that his Q will do maximum damage. Looks like he's Wing onto the ward. They're trying to make it down to this bush as fast as he can. He's going to throw in the blind Q. Is he going to stop the Ezreal? He just... Oh my god, that was so close. The Q landed. As you can see, he has that nice little coconut drink right on top of him. But luckily for Ezreal, once you're in the last about 0.5 seconds of the backing animation, you are most likely invulnerable. And I wouldn't say invulnerable, but you are going to back. Damage is not going to stop you. Looks like Gragas heading down somewhere, warding this up, getting ready to steal maybe the blue for his Amumu or for himself. I'm not really sure. So now going back to the cannon. Cannon is running the AD to AP cannon. It's very common and popular. I'm not sure who started it. Maybe the Koreans, since I know Koreans are very kind of known for the cannon. You know, they love the cannon. They think cannon is a very strong champion, and for good reason, of course. And the good thing about cannon is that you can run AP, I believe, masteries, I believe, or runes, one of the two, and then I believe you run AD. Of the other, so other, you know, runes or masters, whichever you want AP, so the opposite of that. And then you run AD items at the beginning and slowly transition into AP. It looks like a big fight's going to happen at the top lane, but also bottom lane. I'm not sure which words to look at. Let's look at the top quickly. So nice dive. Elise goes up, and she's actually able to avoid a lot of damage, but she escapes as well. So very nice escape. Bottom lane, nothing happened, but it was a trade, or rather a win for the red team. Gragas got the kill onto the cannon. Lee Sin going in for the kill onto the Elise. Elise gets a nice snare, and she's pretty much walking around the minions, making sure that Lee Sin cannot get a Q, but he gets a nice ulti, pretty much avoiding, or rather moving her away, displacing her from the minions by a nice ignite from the Gragas, and it's just enough to pick up the Lee Sin. So they walked out of that 2 for 1. Good trade by them, obviously worth. Gragas gets 2 of the kills, so that's obviously pretty good for him since Gragas is a very strong champion. Huge ratios on his skills, so you know, he's one of those champions. If you get them rolling, he's going to be doing a lot of damage, and it's going to be hard to stop because he is quite, you know, pokey of a champion. He can throw a lot of damage from afar, and he can't really do anything about that other than dodge it, of course. So RobertXLee, 62 CS. Oh, this pull just barely missing, but I'm pretty sure that would have been a bad pull because he would have pulled the Aurelia once more, and we obviously saw earlier in this game what happened to you know, a situation like that of when Blitz got the pull onto Aurelia. She tanks the pull, not a problem, gets in there, dashes right onto Robert, and usually stuns him because she is lower HP than him. So Aurelia support, I don't know, maybe it's the new meta, who knows. Seeming to work pretty well for him here. I mean, even though the Ezreal is behind in CS and items, I wouldn't say behind in items anymore, they're about even in items, I'd say, but either way, that was quite decisive in the previous fight, so very interesting pick by this Aurelia. I'm not sure if it was intentional, but who knows. Lee Sin coming in, dubbing onto the wards, probably sees the... No, he does not see the Aurelia. I mean, there's a ward right there, so I'm actually pretty sure he did see her backing. Sad not to throw in the cube because he would have given away his position, because he's almost positive it's not warded here. Blitz is going in, pops a W. Is he going to get the pull? Aurelia flash, gets a nice pull. Lee Sin does a double Q, but Mumu's coming in. Mumu's level 7. He has ultimate ready. Aurelia does die. RobertXLee doing as much damage as he can, but Mumu gets in with the flash ulti. Gets one person actually, only the Blitz, least important, but Lee Sin going in for the kill, gets a nice kill on the Ezreal, and RobertXLee actually finishes it up, and if Lee Sin can escape this, that'll be extremely impressive. He's actually going to escape it, yeah, the Zed is right there. Nice bandage toss by the Amumu. I'm pretty sure that was, no, that was not blind, he did have a ward here, but regardless, it was a great snipe, making sure that he lands it at max range, and he auto-attacked and eat it for the finish, and picked up a very important kill to make that trade, even as I believe that was a 2 for 2, if I'm not mistaken. So far, it looks like the red team is up in kills by 1. However, the blue team is ahead in gold, just because it looks like almost everyone on their team is winning in CS. Robert's winning, Zed is winning, Lee Sin is losing unfortunately, even though he's up against a Mumu, and Kennen is beating Elise by about 5. So that's most likely the reason. On top of that, Draven does get a lot of gold from his passive, and I'm pretty sure they got, yeah, and they got first blood on the Mumu as well. So those are the factors that are contributing to the, you know, their gold lead, even though they are behind 1 kill. The towers are 0-0. Looks like Amumu is walking to the top and looking for a gank, but Kennen being very observant, very wise. He knows he has no wards, so he's obviously expecting maybe some sort of presence from the Amumu up here. As you know, he is not exactly pushed him, but he's not exactly safe either. He walked into this bush to make sure that does not happen, and actually a kill happened down here. That's quite unfortunate. We can backtrack that very quickly. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. It's not point. I'm pretty sure we can all guess what happened, and Blitz pulled in Aurelia, and then she went and pretty much stunned Robert again. I don't know. Did a lot of damage, so obviously Aurelia is more useful than a Blitz at the bottom lane. So another kill going up in the top lane. Kennen, is he going to die? One more tick. It's not enough, and the HP pop most likely saved him, so that's a really good pop. Very important thing to do is when you're ticking or getting ticked by Ignite from, you know, obviously an enemy champion, it's really nice to pop HP pots, because even though the healing is reduced, it is still healing you for 50% of, you know, whatever the HP pot is supposed to heal, which is something very useful. It can honestly be the reason that you survived through the Ignite ticks. So Zed looking to make something happen. He pulls in the Amumu, so Amumu has no smite. Zed can have a possibility of smiting this. Oh, not smiting, rather stealing this. He does not get it. Amumu gets the bandage tossed in there, most likely smited that or smitted. Yes, he did. Nice kill by the Gragas. The Lee Sin coming in. Lee Sin does not get the kill onto the Mumu. Mumu gets a nice ultimate. Lee Sin is forced to stand still. He does not have ultimate, so I'm not sure what he can do after this. Wow, he followed that up. That was actually a bad follow. Gragas is not going to do much. He walks away, but Amumu dives right back in and gets the kill. Blitz pulls in the Aurelia. That was a good pull, I guess. I mean, it did give Lee Sin somewhat more of a chance, but it was definitely not anywhere near enough to save him. Nice little stun by the Kennen. Aurelia is going pretty much ham. She knows she's most likely dead. She's trying to go for the Blitz, but she's not able to do that. Ezreal whiffs his ultimate, and Robert shows up and picks up the kill onto the Lee, or rather onto the Aurelia. But Lee Sin still dies actually. So no, Lee Sin died. I'm sorry, Lee Sin died over here. That was a mistake. So let's see what happens down here. Robert is obviously ahead in damage, even though he's behind 1 level. So he's showing the Ezreal who's boss right now. And I mean, Ezreal is taking the beating. He can't really do much about it at this very moment, but I feel like Ezreal will be a lot stronger than Robert late game if he gets the build going. You know, the Trinity, Maramune, Bloodthirster, all that good stuff. Extremely strong on Ezreal, so we'll see what happens with that. Looking in the top lane, it looks like Kennen is still ahead. He has 2 kills to Elise's 0, with 1 assist to Elise's 2, but Elise does have 1 extra death, and just a bit less CS. Zed is being quite strong in the middle lane, 20 CS above. However, Gragas does have that beautiful 3-0-3 score, which is a lot better and more pretty looking than the 0-1-1 from the Zed. Robert 1-3, not very hot at this as well, while Ezreal is a 2-1-3, which is a very respectable score. I'm sure Aurelia is pretty much the sole reason behind Ezreal's success down there, you know, surprisingly enough. So that's one of the reasons why I said that, you know, Zed is pretty good against Gragas, because he can dodge a lot of skills with the shadows and his ultimate. Looks like a lot of action going on the top lane. Lee Sin does get the Q, even though Mumu did get the bandage toss, but it's not anywhere near enough. Nice kick right into the Kennen. I'm not sure that's going to work out too well. He misses the Q. That's a very important Q to land, but Zed is up on his way, and this is going to be most likely a dead Elise. Wow, is she actually going to die? I mean, she should be dead. If Zed... Okay, good. He W'd the Elise, killed her. Zed does have ultimate ready. Gragas is up here and gets a nice ultimate. Is he going to dodge a Gragas ulti or something? No, he's not going to do anything. He's not going to do anything at all, actually. Gragas getting a pretty whiffy ultimate, but it's still going to be more than enough to finish off the Zed. He didn't get the ulti on the Zed, but again, you know, luckily for him, Amumu and himself were pretty much pushing him towards their own turret, so Zed had nowhere to go. Lee Sin going on. Wow, nice toss by the Amumu. Is he going to get the kill? He flashes in to ensure it and gets a nice W to E, and that's just enough to pick up the Kennen. While the Lee Sin is pretty much fighting this Gragas solo 1v1, but is he going to have enough? Gets a nice ignite onto the Lee Sin, the Gragas. Oh, nice flash, nice play. Oh, the barrier. Oh my, this is extremely close. Amumu whiffs the ultimate, and this is extremely close. It looks like the Lee Sin, his auto tag didn't register. I think he cancelled it by accident. Let me turn on the chat just in case they're saying anything, because that was extremely funny. Yeah. His auto tag didn't register. I think he accidentally cancelled it because he was trying to do a attack move, right? He attacks and moves maybe to try and dodge a spell from Gragas, but he did it too soon and the attack cancelled. Diving on to the Blitzcrank, he's by himself under this turret, and Aurelia is tanking this turret like a boss, having no problems there whatsoever. RobertXLee finally shows up back into the lane, gets a nice EWQ onto the Ezreal, showing him who's boss. Aurelia's right there. They're going to try and turn this on him. Aurelia gets a nice stun on him, but she takes 1 damage from the turret, and it's more than enough to let Robert finish that off. He's going to get another Q. Nice flash. Catch the axe, pop the W, walk in there, throw the Q. He knew it was going to kill him, and he walks back with style, picks it up, gets a nice double passive proc, which makes it look even more beautiful, and gets, I'm sure, gets some nice generous gold from that. He gets 500 gold so far from his passive, which is very respectable. 15 minutes in, very nice. Zed quite a pickle here, but you know he does have his W. Very wow, that's nice. I like how it does that now. The dragon timer up here, very cool. Dragon's up in 2 minutes. So that's really cool. I love that new spectator mode thing. That's awesome. Anyways, RobertX noob getting caught by the Amumu ever so slightly, but the Lee Sin going and gets a nice kick. I don't know if that's going to be a very good kick, as it's not going to do a whole lot. What the hell? That was a very interesting Amumu bandage toss there, but regardless, he pops the ult. He's not going to do anything. He probably did it more of a panic pop, and he gets absolutely melted. Even with all these kills happening, the red team is of course still ahead by 3 kills, and they're actually catching up in gold, even though they're 3 kills ahead. So they're only behind 0.2 or 0.3k gold, which is not too much. 300 gold. I mean, that's not a whole lot. That's honestly, you can almost call that even. Who got the dragon earlier? I can't remember who got the dragon. Let's quickly press Z and see who got it. Rampage, Bloodthirster. I don't see the dragon. There it is. Red team got the dragon. That explains why they're up very close to the blue team. I mean, even though the blue team is still quite ahead by the gold count. I mean, even though they're behind by 3 kills behind dragon. Turrets are actually they're up 1 turret. Maybe that's one of the reasons. But again, the CS is still quite ahead. For example, Robert is way ahead. Zed is way ahead. Lee Sin's behind, and Aurelia is ahead of the Blitz. So, I mean, very interesting. Anyways, I'm pretty sure the reason that they're so ahead is because of Robert's passive. That's giving them quite a bit of gold lead. I mean, that 500 gold is pretty massive. And that's got to be the exact reason why they're ahead. Alright, let's take a look at the items. So, Zed is actually building a Hex Drinker. That's a very smart thing to do, actually, just because Amumu's magic damage, Gragas is magic damage, Elise is magic damage. So why would you not want to get a Hex Drinker on someone like a Zed? So that's a very respectable pickup of an item by him. Amumu is looking maybe to go bottom and gank, but he's walking around in the jungle, possibly going to reset the red icon. Maybe he thought it was there. He clearly thought it was there, but he's resetting it regardless. So now he will know when the red spawns, because the icon, of course, will light up on his minimap when it is up. Looking for the double golems, but that's not there either, so he's quite a sad mummy just now. But looking in for the gank, nothing was warded, so they have no idea he's here. They're gonna see him right as he walks right here, so they know he's here now. He's gonna do anything. He's gonna walk right into the Blitzcrank. Is he gonna pop ulti? No, he's not. Blitzcrank flashes away. Lee Sin's coming in for the back, or from the behind rather, for the counter gank. Are they gonna do anything? Lee Sin gets a random ulti. He's not gonna do a whole lot, but the Zed is coming in as well. RobertXLee doing some massive damage with that Draven. He got that Bloodthirster going, and the Zed is going on to this Aurelia, getting that death mark going on to her, but it's not going to be anywhere enough. The Ignite ticking as well, but this Aurelia being quite the annoying person, not wanting to die. Robert gets another stylish kill with his E, knowing it's going to kill her, and pretty much just starts changing his path over to the dragon, because like, you know what, Aurelia is dead, so why don't I just, you know, save a second or two and start heading to dragon right away. That's a nice pickup. Nice pull by the Blitz. Wow, good Zhonya's by the Blitz, or by the Gragas. Amumu flashes in, trying to save his ally, but I mean, it's not looking too good for them. If the Blitzcrank is going to die, wow, it's actually looking extremely good for them. This Amumu does quite a bit of damage, and the Gragas is actually extremely strong as well. Wow, I completely underestimated Gragas' damage. Let's see if RobertXLee can do anything. He's very low on mana. Gragas is more than half, so he's pretty happy about that. Let's see if Gragas... Wow, that's a pretty bad bandage toss there. Zed going in for the kill. Is he going to do anything? RobertXLee is there, and he's going to get a nice Q. Not enough. Needed one more, but the Amumu is looking in quite some trouble here. He's going to finish off with one more auto attack. RobertXLee doing work, and he's going to do a lot of damage to this Ezreal. He's just very wisely catching the axes while proccing the W, rather. Aurelia comes in, gets a nice E. RobertXLee still picks up the kill onto the Ezreal, but he blows up almost instantly right after. Zed going in for the kill. Oh, the death mark, and he's actually not going to get the kill. That's a nice barrier. Wow, holy, that barrier, that was so close. That was almost about to like expire just as the death mark hit. That was a very risky barrier. He popped a little too soon, kind of a panic pop, because if he literally, wow, and Cannon getting dove over here. Oh, very nice outplay. Looks like Elise's auto attack or Q, whichever that was not able to finish him just in time, and Cannon picks up a kill onto the Spider Queen or whatever she is. A very nice pickup. Elise, you know, taking a little too many turrets, and Cannon did have to burn flash for that, but at least looks like she burned flash and Ignite as well during that trade-off. So it looks like both of them burned all their summoner spells up in that fight, and Cannon did come out victorious. 0-4 at least with the 3-2 Cannon. So Cannon obviously doing a pretty good job. Interestingly enough, he got Twin Shadows. So you don't see Cannons pick up that item too often. But looks like he got it. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm a little skeptical as to why he got this. But I'm sure, you know, he knows what he's doing. So I'm not going to go ahead and critique him too much. But I do have to say that I'm not sure if I agree with it. Let's look at the Ezreal build. So he got the Trinity Force. That's a very important and crucial item on Ezreal. He's not going completely blue build. He's going more of the kind of aggressive sort of up in your face. You know, I'm just going to do a lot of auto attack damage Ezreal, where you're probably going to get like a Bloodthirst or maybe an IE. Kind of, you know, not that blue build where you kind of just poke with your Q as much as you can and then go in for the kill when you're low enough. Oh, nice ulti by the Gragas, sniping off that Blitzcrank, even with the shield on. As you can see, the Gragas obviously has extremely strong ratios. Gragas is maxing QE and then W for people that are wondering. And he's just doing work. 8-0 and 5. So, I mean, they have to do something to this Gragas. They have to put a stop to him. They have to get his killing spree because he is worth quite a bit of gold. Looks like Draven has 19 stacks on his pass. So that's nothing at all, of course. He's going to get 2 stacks per kill. Or rather, 2 gold per stack. I'm sorry. Ezreal maxing Q, then E, then W. Very standard, very common, not surprised there whatsoever. RobertXLee maxing QWE as well, not surprised. Cannon, what is he maxing? He's maxing W, that makes sense. W, Q, and then E. It makes perfect sense if you're going AD Cannon early game. Q is very useless, E is pretty useless. W is definitely your main damage, or your source of damage. What else is there? Who else do we have? Blitzcrank. QEW, fair enough. Lee Sin, QWE, interesting. Most Lee Sins start maxing Q or E rather lately, I think, from what I've seen. But that's not a bad choice either. Aurelia is maxing W first. Not a bad choice as well, because she's not going to be building too many kind of attack damage items or just items in general, since she is supporting and she is only at 37 gold. So she's just building, or rather maxing W to ensure that she can still do good damage without much items. That's the good thing about Aurelia, that true damage coming in, very, very useful. And the Q, don't forget, Aurelia's Q does proc the true damage from the W, so that's another very useful thing to remember. Is she gonna get the Z? No, she's just kind of taunting him, standing right beside the turret. Even took a turret hit, actually. It looks like they're starting Baron. Very risky play. I mean, it is not worth it, that's for sure. But, I mean, once the blue team notices that there's no one other than maybe the Aurelia in lane, you know, they might start suspecting something. I mean, they're doing the Baron actually surprisingly fast for 22 minutes. But Aurelia is baiting them around. Aurelia is baiting them right to Baron. Not sure if she should be doing that. If she baited them away from Baron, that would have been a lot wiser. But they actually got the Baron just in time, and the big fight is going to erupt. Kenner popping the ulti, at least dying almost in a second. And the Blitz, or rather the blue team is good, looking very strong. And Mumu does not have, oh, he does have flash. So he flashes over, waits at the last second to see if anything else can happen. And they all escape. Of course, Aurelia and Elise did have to sacrifice themselves for the good of their team. But at least they got Baron out of that. So honestly, I think that's worth, because now the red team is ahead in gold. And Gragas, the most important person on their team, does have the buff, the Baron buff, which is something that's going to be pretty crucial for him in order to try and stay alive. If Blitz gets a pull on him, he's actually going to be in a pretty tight situation. Oh, I just noticed Gragas does not even have flash. He went barrier ignites, so that's something to also remember. Ezreal coming in, nice EQ, getting in some serious damage. Gragas messing up that EQ a little bit. He threw the Q a little too soon, so the Q was not able to really go as far as it could have if he did E, finish the E, and then use the Q. Gragas does not have ulti yet, so he can't really snipe anything here. So he's kind of just showing presence. He's just making them scared. Maybe looking for the opportunity to maybe possibly land the Q and finish someone off, but that obviously did not happen, because the Gragas Q, you know, even though it's just such an amazing skill with very good ratios, is quite slow in the travel time, so that's not very difficult to dodge, as we saw there clearly. So nice pickup from the red team, getting the second mid turret. That's a very important turret to get, because middle lane is one of the most crucial lanes in terms of getting control of and getting turrets down, because it just offers a lot more kind of, I guess, A-rounding people, you know, where you can go behind them, you can cutthroat them, you know, you can do a lot of things. You have a lot of kind of openers that you can go behind people and just kill them from there. It just pretty much gives a lot more opportunities than bottom or top. However, getting presence in the bottom lane, such as maybe getting the bottom inhibitor, is also very important, because this is the farthest lane from the Baron pit, which once Baron spawns can be very useful, since once this lane starts pushing in, or this lane starts pushing in, that team with the lane that's pushing in not into their favor will have to go and defend it, and when they do that, the other team can start forcing the Baron. So it's kind of a, you know, it's a very tough pickle to be in. So Elise is going in, getting a nice E, but that's actually not very nice. She completely whiffed that. Nice dodge by the Zed. He actually flashed into the Gragas Q. He had to flash away. He had nowhere else to go. Nice ulti by the Gragas, but it's not enough to kill the Zed. Zed actually surprisingly tanked that. Most likely thanks to his Hex Drinker. And looks like RobertXLee is in the bottom lane as Draven, pushing as fast as he can. Amumu ulti coming off. Gragas, nice Q. Kennen got caught, and Gragas instantly finished him off with the Q, dealing massive damage. That Q right now is dealing a whole 443 damage on top of the base damage of 285. So that's crazy. It's about 700 damage, if not more. So that's extremely strong. Definitely don't want to get hit by that. So that's one thing about Gragas, man. His ratios are just insane. Let's look at the items. Elise got a Zhonya's. Very, very important items. Gragas got a Zhonya's. Especially important on Gragas because not only is he a melee champion who is up against a team that's, you know, pretty heavy on the AD. Even Kennen has most, you know, half AD, if you will, because his AP is not exactly high. Gragas getting an Hourglass was probably one of the best items he could have got, and I completely agree with that because not only does it help him in terms of armor, but it helps him because since he has such a big killing spree on his head, I believe a godlike 500 gold killing spree, he's going to have to make sure that he can survive as long as he can. So that's a very good buy by him, so great job on that. Ezreal, Triforce, and Trinity, that's pretty heavy damage right there, so that's also not too bad. Doesn't have the Maramune, so I mean, I don't know, I personally love Maramune still just because it just adds so much damage to Ezreal's Q. But I guess he decided not to go that way. He doesn't have a Bloodthirster either, so I'm a little skeptical about that build, to be completely honest. I think that Trinity Force is better to get after he gets some sort of AD item like a Bloodthirster. But let's see if the Lee Sin can go in for the steal. No, he's not getting the steal. Throws the Q a little late. He had no vision, I believe, so he can't really blame him. Zed showing some presence against the support Aurelia. I don't think Aurelia can beat Zed. That'd be quite pathetic if she can. The Hex Drinker, of course, not going to do a whole lot for Zed against an Aurelia. No, her ulti is even physical damage. So Aurelia has only the E does magic damage. So I mean, you know, the Hex Drinker won't do a whole lot against that. Zed is, or rather, Draven is 200 CS. Ezreal's at 150. So Draven actually built a Trinity Force. RobertXLee with a Trinity. Very interesting. I don't know if I agree with that. If him catching the Q resets it, let's find out if he resets it. He throws it. Does he catch it? It does not. So if catching the axe or throwing the axe, you know, some way activated the Sheen effect, that'd be really good. I don't think it does. If it does, then that's a really OP item on Zed, but it doesn't look like it does from what I'm looking at right now. I don't know. I'm not gonna go ahead and judge Robert's build. I mean, he's a very good player. I'm sure he knows exactly what he's doing. But it is a good item. I don't know if I agree with it though. I mean, I guess every time he catches an axe, he'll have the W, which he can use, which he should be using, which in turn will also proc the Sheen effect. But I don't know. Either way, Zed is top lane, trying to push that in while the enemy red team is pushing into the mid lane, looking for the advantage, trying to maybe find an opportunity to dive this. The blue team is quite split, so if the red team realizes this and takes this an advantage and goes in for the initiative, as with the Amumu, it can prove to be quite fatal for the blue team. Blitz looking in for a possible pull, but Amumu is not someone that he wants to pull in unless he's completely isolated, and even then they'll have a tough time killing an Amumu who also has a flash. Let's see what happens here. So the red team decided to traverse down into the bottom lane, as the second turret is obviously a bit easier to get, as opposed to the third turret, which is right inside the base, because there's a lot more openings here. There's a lot more space for them to do whatever they want to do. Elite's getting a nice snare on that cannon minion. That cannon minion did not see that coming, and following that up, we have a nice blitz pull onto that minion. That minion did not see it coming as well. I mean, these plays are happening left and right now. Crazy plays. Nice Q by the Lee Sin, but it's not going to do anything, of course. And Kennen getting in some harass as well, but the red team does have pretty sweet harass with that Gragas and the Ezreal, so I don't know if they can really do anything. The only harass that the blue team has is with Ezreal, and even then it's not, or rather with the Cannon, and even then it's not that good, because Cannon is partial AD and partial AP. Pretty bad pull right there. Diving in, oh my goodness, that is absolutely brutal. Gragas ulti was pretty good as well. Amumu ultied everyone. Gragas ultied them out of the Amumu ulti, even though they were still blinded, but they were pretty split. Oops. Elise going in for the kill, getting the kill onto the Zed. Ezreal getting the kill onto the Cannon. The blue team is running away. Aurelia, the support Aurelia, let me remind you, with the Trinity Force is so strong right now. This is the one good thing about having a support Aurelia as opposed to maybe a Blitz. Even though she was, it's completely unconventional, she's so useful right now. And Aurelia with the Triforce is extremely strong. Even though she has no CS, as long as she has that one item, she becomes just so strong. And I mean, this is probably GG. So just consider how much more useful the Aurelia is as opposed to the Blitz. I mean, it's pretty insane on just what a different level the Aurelia is. But that's it for this one apparently, guys. So the red team did win in a very close game, very tight. well played by both teams, and I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. Please tell me what you guys think and if you want to see more. But again, I will see you guys next time, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Peace.